Okay, now we need to create those maps in Photoshop. So we are here. Start your Photoshop and open up the map. This map generated by Faceworx. Start it and rotate 180 degrees. This will be easier for us to work with this map. The first thing we need to do is to remove those spectacular on the skin. Specular. You can use this step tool and adjust its size and adjust its opacity. Hit Alt key to copy those area and use the pen to kind of cover those area that seems to how to say highlight. Just try to remove those areas that's not quite normal to the average color of the skin. Also, you can see a shadow around here. We can remove it too by using this step 2. Okay. Another thing you need to know, those areas will be covered by hair, so we may need to paint some hair around here. That's about it. And right now we need to create a map. We need to create a map, something like this. Let's take a look. The color. Okay. Go to hue saturation. We can decrease the saturation a little bit, and we can change the brightness and contrast. Can play with label. Make it somehow and somewhat yellowish. Adding some yellow color to it. Okay, I think okay. So this map you can rename it to Dream Breath Diffuse. Whatever you like. And another map we need to colorize it with some more red color. And we can adjust its hue and saturation to make it more red. So this is the final result we are looking for. There's so many ways to create this kind of a result. Change color. Okay, let's pretty red, and you can save this as absorption map. Absorption map. It's done. Go back. Now we need to desaturate this color, and we need to create a map for reflection. Basically, you just need to decrease the brightness of this map, and this decrease the contrast will be just fine. You might need to want to adjust some of this area. This area seems too dark again. Paint it more bright if you want, but overall a simple brightness adjustment will be just fine. Okay, and finally we need to create a map for specular. We can decrease the brightness more and add in again, make those area brighter, so you can see more reflection around those areas. So we can then rename this as specular. Same. So let's go back and take a look at our absorption map. If you want, you can, because the lip color is red, you can increase those areas, make it more red if you want. Okay, so we are done here. Now let's continue our human skin material. After create texture in Photoshop, we will end up with this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 maps. One is for surface diffuse map, and one is for reflection map. This one is for normal map. This one is for specular map, and subsurface blob map. So start your 3ds Max and you import your hand model. Let me briefly explain the GI and the lighting setup. I create a final render rectangle line point to the hand, and the value is, the color value is 1. And for the environment lighting, go to final render and indirect illumination. I use simple sky and set the color to 0.6. The default value will be 1.0. and I use final render adaptive coarse Monte Carlo method, and the preset set to low will be fine. And go to the ray tracer tab, and there's a geometry sampling. The default setting, I think it's automatic. Please set this to relative. This will influence your rendering time dramatically. Another thing is set your global illumination bounce to 1. The default setting would be 2 bounce, but it is unnecessary to set it to 1 will be okay. So let's make a test render to see the hand model rendering without any texture. Okay, this is the result of rendering the hand rendering without any texturing. So now let's start with more complicated material. Let's use the Finalshader face skin material. And first of all, I want to I'm sorry, because before we do that, I want to apply a final render advanced material and to see how the normal map will add detail to our hand model. So go to map, bump, and choose normal bump, and select the bump map you just created. Okay, and set the bump map value to 40. And let's do another render. And this is the rendering result of normal map applied. As you can see, the normal map helps us to add detail around about the wrinkle and give it more realism to the hand model. Okay, this time we are going to use the extra material we are going to apply. We use Finalshader face skin material, and let's go to the surface shader. Go to the surface shader and click on none and apply a final render advanced material. And put your surface diffuse map to your diffuse channel. Surface diffuse. Okay, and go back to parent level and set the depth to about 27 centimeter. Samples to reduce to 500. Okay. Absorption increase to 200. And let's do a quick render. So this is the result with Finalshader face skin material apply, and with only surface diffuse put into the surface shader diffuse map channel. And as you can see, the results are not too bad, but without reflection map and blob map and normal map, there is no detail and no reflection, which cannot give you a realistic skin touch. So let's add in more detail to our head model. And this time go to map and bump. We choose normal bump and put our normal bump, normal map in this slot. To add more detail, let's add additional bump map. We choose cellular and set the size to 0.2. I'm sorry, 0.25. And please check the fractal. This will help us to increase detail besides the bump map. Reduce the value, this value to 0.2. Okay. And we are going to put the blood map, also known as absorption map, to our absorption. Blood. Yes. As you can see, by adding more and more detail, we give our head model more realistic touch. And let's put a specular map into this specular level slot. Before we put our reflection map in the reflection map slot, let's do a quick render and see what we got until now. Okay, this is the result. As you can see, it's getting better and I think the cellular bump value is set too high. You can lower it down if you want to. So maybe change our bump value from 100 to 40. I will make a clone of this image so we can make a comparison after we add in the refraction map into our refraction slot. The refraction will calculate the refraction map will influence the refraction, so it will take longer time to render. So select your refraction map. And let's render it. As you can see, during the rendering you will see red dots, which mean for the final render it's refraction or reflection sampling. The red dot indicates the refraction sampling area. Okay, this is our end result. As you can see, compared with hand model material without refraction, this is much more better real than this one. And this concludes our skin material tutorial, and let's go to the next section about the hair creation. So now let's move on next stage, creation of hair. And before we actually create hair, we have to detach mesh from the hair model, that is for our sculpt, and we will unwrap the UVW of the sculpt with deep UV and create a map, something like this, to control the length of our hair strand. So let's go to our 3ds Max, and this is the end result of the hair. So let me delete this and turn off my turbo squid. Turn on the wireframe. So now let's select all the mesh that need for the hem sculpt. We can okay, after we make this selection, we want to detach those mesh and detach as a clone. Let's rename the clone as sculpt. Select our sculpt and apply a unwrap UVW modifier to it. Okay, and then let's export this mesh as OBJ. Export selected as an OBJ. OBJ. Hit OK, and start your DVUE software and open up the OBJ we just exported in 3ds Max. Go to project, tutorial, map, sculpt. So this is our sculpt, and hit Ctrl A to select all the faces, and we're going to use Planner 1 as my automatic mapping method, and hit this relax. This will relax our head model. UVW of our sculpt model, and we can use the move tool to move our UVW, and I think there's tool pick up. That's no good. I think we have to see. Free transform. We need to rotate this sculpt to I think this, scale it down, put it in the center. Okay, it's done. Let's save us another OBJ.